Hi everyone, welcome to our first flipped video. The first thing I'd like you to do is go to your table of contents. Unfortunately, the computers at work were still not working when we got back from peak, so I'm unsure of the page numbers. You can, hopefully you know what the page numbers are, so just fill in the page numbers, the next two pages. The topic is solving two-step equations. And you can use tomorrow's date, which is October 15th, 2012. So take a minute, pause me, fill in your table of contents, and then turn to the next page in your notebook. When you turn to your next page, we're now going to fill in the top. Please put section 3-1, solving two-step equations. Again, the page number I'm not sure of, so just fill in the correct page number. And once again, we're using tomorrow's date, October 15th, 2012. Okay, so we're going to talk today about solving two-step equations. Hopefully this rings a bell to you. Whenever we're solving an equation, our goal is to isolate the variable. And hopefully you remember that to do this we use inverse operations. I'm sorry that the font is not so great. I'm using my finger on my iPad. And again, whatever we do to one side, we must do to the other. So take a minute, pause me, fill this into your notebook. Make sure you have, in big letters, our goal is to isolate the variable. To do this, we use inverse operations. Whatever we do to one side, we must do to the other. Again, take a minute, pause me, and when you're ready, hit continue or play. The other thing that we have to remember when solving two-step equations is that we use the reverse order of operations. Because when we're solving an equation, we're working backwards, so therefore we do the order of operations in reverse. This means that we undo addition or subtraction first, and then we undo multiplication or division. So just take a moment, add in this to your notebook. Again, remember to pause me and then just press play when you're ready to continue. Okay, the last thing I'd like you to add to this page of your notebook are two examples that we're going to solve together, or I'm going to solve and you can watch. The first example is 3x minus 2 equals 4. So go ahead and just write that down in your notebook. When we're solving this now, again, our goal is to isolate the variable. We want to get that x all by itself. So we're going to use inverse operations. Whatever we do to one side, we do to the other. And I'm going to go ahead and undo that minus 2 first. So the opposite of minus 2 is to add 2 to both sides of the equation. When you do that, the 2's cancel out on the left-hand side, and we're left with 3x equals, and then 4 plus 2 is equal to 6. So we've reduced our equation to just a one-step equation. 3x means 3 times x, so in order to isolate the x, we need to do the opposite of multiply, which is divide. So we're going to divide both sides of the equation by 3. Again, the 3's will cancel out, leaving us with just x on the left side, and 6 divided by 3 is 2. So we get x equals 2. To check this, you would want to plug 2 in for x back into the original equation. When you do that, 3 times 2 is equal to 6, and 6 minus 2 is equal to 4, so it checks out and works well. The second equation is 10 equals m divided by 4, all plus 2. Again, we want to isolate the variable m. To do this, we use inverse operations. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. So we're going to undo the plus 2 first. So I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides of the equation. When I do that, the 2's cancel out on the right-hand side, leaving me with just m divided by 4, and 10 minus 2 is equal to 8. So I have 8 equals m divided by 4. Remember, the fraction bar means to divide. To undo the division, you're going to multiply both sides by 4. When you do that, the 4's cancel out, leaving us just with m, and 4 times 8 is equal to 32. So if we want to check, if you plug in 32 to the original equation, 32 divided by 4 is 8, and 8 plus 2 is 10. So this one also checks out. Hopefully this all rings a bell because we did do two-step equations last year quite a bit. If you have any questions on the bottom of this page in your notebook, please, after you've copied these two examples, write down any questions that you have for class tomorrow. When we get to class, we're going to start with some check understandings, and then we're going to do some partner problems. So again, if you have any questions, write them down now. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and hopefully you are doing well with two-step equations.